Now, the first thing I want to find out from you, and this is your personal opinion, what would you say? A visible agent in the area or an agent that you get on well with? Which of those are more important?
So, yeah, I've thought about this, and I definitely think if you've had experience with a previous agent, perhaps you bought a property from them, perhaps you've sold another property within your area, I always think it's fantastic to go with the same agent. You know them, you trust them, you know they're ethical, and they've got you've resonated with them on a previous occasion. So I always say, go with somebody that you do know. If you don't, listen to a friend or a family member and get a referral from them. It's always good to have somebody that you can trust and that you know with one of your biggest investments in life is going to do a good job and make it as smooth as possible.
Now, should you interview a couple of agents? And what are typical questions that you need to ask those agents?
So I always say you must go on a fact-finding mission. Even if you know someone in the area, I think you do need to get a good idea of what your house is worth. So in the good old days, when there were still show days, pre-COVID, you could go around and see what sort of prices they were on the market for. Now, of course, you can just go straight onto the internet and check out maybe 2 or 3 agencies. Even if one of them is somebody you're familiar with, I always say get 2 other people in anyway, just to make sure that your pricing's right. So once you've done that, you can then invite them for an interview, and that's really what you're doing. Again, it's one of the most important things you're going to sell in your life. So get them in and interview them. Find out how long they've been in the area. It really is quite important to get an experienced agent that knows the area really well. I know everybody needs a chance, but you do need somebody, like you said right at the beginning.
Yeah.
You don't want a doctor that's doing their first operation, do you? So, yeah, and then of course you need to find out what sort of qualifications they have. By law, they have to be qualified. They have to have a Fidelity Fund certificate. And then, of course, one of the most important things is you need to talk commission. And I always say, agree on that upfront and take it from there. But yeah, you need to resonate with someone. So you need to see at least 2 or 3 people and see who you feel comfortable with. Because remember, there's a lot of personal stuff that you're going to be sharing. They're going to know a lot about you. So you do need to have someone that you feel comfortable with and that you feel is ethical.
Now, sellers often go with the real estate agents who offers them the highest asking price.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily always the best option.
Oh, it's definitely not the best option. In fact, it's probably the worst option. You just cannot go with a price. You have to have it all backed up. So obviously when you meet and interview with your agent, you do then need to find a comparative market analysis and see what are the houses selling for in your area. What I like to do is show them houses that I've listed and what they sold for and how long it took.
Okay.
If you go in too high, you're going to sit on the market for months and you're probably going to end up getting less than you would have to start with. So it's really important that you get a realistic valuation, and that's why 3 agents is always good to get in. And you can kind of then see from their statistics what sort of properties they've marketed, what sort of properties have sold recently, and you can get a very good idea of what your property is worth.
Let's talk about marketing. What type of marketing questions should you look out for when you speak to these agents? I think a lot of agents would list your property on the portals and then that's the end of it. Is that enough? Or do you want, especially in this COVID-19 time that we're living, I think the marketing has changed a lot.
No, definitely
Talk to us about that.
So of course, again, as we said a little bit earlier, we no longer have show days. So look, you are going to immediately get it onto the different portals. There are quite a few of them. And then of course a good agent who's specializing in an area is always going to have buyers on their books. And if you are working your buyers properly and you know exactly what they're looking for, the moment a house comes on the market, that's what they're looking for, you can get it sold as quickly as possible. So in COVID times, yeah, I think you really need to get to know your buyers really, really well. So that's why you need an agent that's familiar with the area, that has worked in the area for a long time.